right, so we'll get things started. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. I'm Coach Matt, your program manager for your Power Up Fitness Center. Today we're going to be talking about National Nutrition Month. So March is National Nutrition Month, and we're going to be making some poke bowls. So very kind of classic way to get a lot of great things in one dish. I'm going to go ahead and start kind of prepping some stuff so it can sit while we chat. Actually, normally would make this. Is something that I make almost weekly. I usually make it with tuna or shrimp, and surprise, when I need it, we actually don't have any on hand. So I'm going to go against the rules a little bit and make it with some chicken, because we always try to use what we have in the fridge. So that's kind of what we have going on today. I've already kind of cubed up some chicken. We're going to put a little marinade in it. And allow it to just sit for about 5 minutes. So we're going to go some soy sauce. This is actually kelp-based soy sauce. There's no soy in it, but if you're interested. A little, usually rice wine vinegar. I don't have that, so we're going to go white wine vinegar, do our best. I'm going to grate some some ginger in there. I'm just going to go right over top. And you can make that as spicy as you like to with some ginger. And then we're going to throw a few sesame seeds on the top. We'll mix that together and we'll let that sit for, 5 minutes or so. Just kind of marinate. In the meantime, I will kind of preheat a pan so that's nice and sizzling. Normally, wouldn't need to cook anything for this outside of some rice, some quinoa, whatever you'd like to do as your base. So again, we'll let that sit to the side, get a pan preheated, and we'll give that a minute to sit. So I have already made some rice just because that usually takes about 20 minutes. I don't want to wait all the way to the end just in case we finish a little bit early. Hopefully everybody knows how to make rice at this point. Just remember to wash your rice. A lot of produce going on today. So the goal of what I want to talk about today is just making a colorful plate. So with nutrition, I know there's a lot of different things, a lot of kind of combative points of view, but one thing that's always been agreed upon is the more colorful your diet, all right, the better it's going to be for you. So a lot of different colored foods have a lot of different benefits for you. We're going to kind of talk about a few for today. So most successful is your greens, right? So we've got some cabbage here. We're going to kind of finally slice this and start kind of putting this in a bowl. With our poke bowl, the nice thing about it is that you can really put whatever you have on hand into that bowl. So I do have a little bit of greens here as well from kind of a mixed salad. And we're going to put this all together. So people are like, my vegetables are just always salad. So we're going to put a little variety in there with some cabbage. I do have a carrot here, a relatively small carrot. We are going to grate this in there as well. Actually, we'll make it a little bit more beautiful. We'll kind of put that on the side. We'll wait till the end. I'll grate it right here on the board, just to kind of showcase all of our different colors. Like I said, our colors. So we've got some greens, we've got some orange. We're going to throw some red bell pepper in there. Red food's usually great for your heart, for circulation. A lot of different options for that. Usually red bell pepper is the most accessible to most of us. I apologize since it is very loud. It is practically right on the camera, or right on the microphone. So we'll get this down there. Cool, beautiful, orange. We got that. I do have some beets here, or no, I'm sorry, these are not beets. These are radishes. They look like little teeny beets. So we're gonna use some radishes because I thought that they would be very, very nice. And they've been in there all week and we haven't used them, so I'm gonna use them for today. I have washed everything beforehand. Remember to wash all your produce. The easiest way I found for the radishes here is just to use the little, I don't know if it's called a mandolin, but the little slicer side of your grater. So I'm just gonna knock off our stump, and we will just go right into some very finely sliced radishes. So, like I said, I want to make these Friday morning fuels as accessible as possible. So, whatever you have in your fridge, right, is a great way. Look at how cool those are. Woo. Um, whatever you have in your fridge is usually what we're shooting for. I know nutrition is a bit of a tough spot for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. And if there's ways that we can get you kind of across those barriers without having to, go out and buy a bunch of specific food for a very specific meal, our goal is always to make cooking very accessible. So whatever you have in your fridge, and just kind of learn different ways to make that work. Cool. So this has been a couple of minutes. I'll probably give this another minute or two, and then we'll start kind of cooking that up. Let's just soak it in all that goodness. I'm going to go ahead at this point and kind of oil the pan. I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil here. I'm actually going to use a little bit of sesame oil, which does have a much lower smoke point, so do be careful. That's just to put a little bit of extra flavor, maybe some, this one's not the spicy kind, but just a little bit extra in there as well. I really put basically nothing on there, so we'll put a little bit on there. All right. Cool. So that is nice and warm. I'll throw the chicken in there. All right, and we'll let that go. So I do want to point out I am making 2 portions for the chicken because just like we talked about before, making it accessible, you can kind of cook in bulk, and we don't necessarily need to make 2 poke bowls. But if we want to use that chicken, tomorrow, the next day, a little bit later in the week, it's already cooked up, right? So then you just need to warm it up and throw it in the dish, and then you're ready to go. So in the meantime, while that's going away, we're going to kind of continue to prep our veggies. And kind of put this to the side, and again, we'll just have a little showcase of all our vegetables over here. I do have some cucumber because I think it's a very essential part of our poke bowl. I'm going to do something a little bit different instead of just dicing up. I'm going to make some ribbons because they look real fancy, right? So taking a vegetable peeler, again, wash your produce. We're just going to make some nice ribbons. We won't use that top part. And we're just going to put these in a bowl. Just finding some different ways to be a little bit more creative, make it a little bit more fun. Yeah, we could just slice it up as we normally eat cucumbers. But I think these look fun. Again, we'll put those on the board. Option here is if you have some rice vinegar, we can also put a little bit of rice vinegar on your cucumbers, kind of pickle them, a very quick pickle. So basically you kind of do that at the beginning, pour a little rice vinegar in there, maybe a little bit of pepper, some salt, and let that sit until kind of the very end where you're kind of putting your bowl together. But we're going to kind of skip that because we do have some pickled red onions. If you're here last month, I'm all about some pickled red onions, show you how to do that. If you're interested in that, you can tune back into the healthy burgers that we made last week. I know it's a little bit of a contradiction there. How can burgers be healthy? Well, tune into our last episode. You may find out. So chicken's still going well on that. We'll still give that, I don't know, probably another 5 minutes or so. And we can kind of continue putting our board together. It's like a charcuterie board, but or charcuterie. You know what I'm talking about, but with the vegetables. Next is our red pepper, and we have the option here. What do we want to do with our red pepper? I think with everything, we don't have anything that's actually diced, so let's just dice this guy up. So always a very nice sharp knife is going to make your job a lot easier. So I do recommend keeping an eye on your knife and keeping those as sharp as you're able to. I do not have a super like. I found this Reddit thread one time about. So I'm always interested, those things that you have like premium products of that you don't really think about as a premium. And so, tell you what, pens are a big one. People are really about what kind of pens are the best. But another one is knives. Knives is a whole world that I did not know about until I stumbled into it. So if you're very interested and look up some knife snob kind of recommendations for some knives, let's get up into the hundreds of dollars for some real nice knives. Okay, so we've got our red pepper. I'm just going to make half of that, put the other half to the side. A little bit of spice. We're going to put some jalapeno in there. I'm going to make these nice little ballpark slices. Again, not going to do the whole thing, just a handful here. I like a little bit of spice in my dish. Look like little smiley faces. Very, very cute. All right, so, and then we'll have our pickled red onions. I won't pull those out right now. Last but not least, we're going to hit some avocado. So this is probably not the ripest avocado, but it's what we have for demonstration purposes. Let's see. All right, that's pretty solid. I'm happy with that. So we're going to scoop this out, and again, we're just going to kind of make this look real nice. We're going to do some slices here. And, big part of making a meal fun is, for me, I like to think about how would a real professional chef do this. So I'm going to get this, try to not touch the avocado as much as I did. And we're just going to make some fine slices down that avocado. Just a reminder that a fourth of an avocado, especially one the size that I just got, a fourth of an avocado is a serving. So be mindful of that as you're putting your dish together. As we kind of build this here in the next couple of minutes, we will see kind of all those serving sizes being put together. We've got the last couple minutes here on our chicken. Just make sure there's a couple sides that have yet to be touched. So give that marinade. Looks great, smells great. Very excited about that. I'll let that go. Don't want to cook on a very, very high heat for your chicken. Not that chicken would normally go into your bowl, but if you decide to, very high heat is going to make it a little bit crispier on the outside, which if that's the way that you want to roll, of course, go for it. But I like it a little bit more tender. Again, very accessible. You could go out and get some like ahi tuna steaks. Not something I normally buy, so not something that we normally have. But if you want to make this a special occasion, of course, some great color on that one as well. Some good fatty fish. We've got some fat in our avocado here as well. A little bit on our olive oil. Not really getting too much into the chicken on that. But we kind of look at our four pillars here with our build, our fuel, our prevent, and our protect. We got our fats, our carbs, our lots of vegetables, and our protein. So keep that in mind as you're building that bowl as well. So colorful, well balanced, usually a great kind of concept to grab at the beginning. So while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and kind of start constructing the bowl. We're going to take our rice here. Half cup of rice would be a good serving on that. Depending on your energy needs. So keep in mind that, depending on what you do for a living, right, if you're kind of a weekend warrior and you're fueling up before a big bike ride or something like that, a few more carbs, a little bit more fuel would be a great option. But kind of your normal midweek meal, if you're making this for lunch today, right, just kind of take into account what you have for the rest of the day going on, or kind of if you had a really, really busy morning, workout in the morning, then, feel free to add a few more carbs in there. If you're not sure of what that meal plan kind of looks for you, come talk to us and we can kind of sit through and see what is more specific towards you. So we've got our rice. Again, you can use quinoa, you can use soba noodles, you can use whatever kind of base that you want. We just have a bunch of rice, so rice it is. We're going to throw in our salad on the side, a little pinch in here. And again, I'm going to try to make this extra beautiful. We're going to put our carrots on the side, our radishes. That's what they are, yeah? Okay, just making sure. Our probably a few too many, but we'll put our cucumber ribbons in there, looking cool. Prop these up a little bit. I'm going to put some jalapenos. And the nice thing about this, after you build it, you take a picture of it, then you can just mix it all together, right? And we're going to put a few of our red peppers in there. Look at that variety. I'm so proud of this. So I'm going to garnish this with some avocado slices. We'll make a little fan there. Ooh, beautiful. And while that chicken is going, we'll throw that right in the middle to kind of top things off. All right. I think we're looking real solid on that. You know, as much as you cook, if you really trust yourself, great, good for you. If it doesn't hurt just to go ahead and take a stab at one of those chickens and cut it in half, make sure there's no pink in there, cooked all the way through. Always double check your work, right? So we'll turn that off. I'm going to get a good little scoop of chicken and pop that right in the middle. See if we can grab a little of this extra sauce. And we'll slap that on the top. Wow. The secret ingredient, we've got some everything bagel seasoning. I don't go anywhere without this. This stuff is great. We'll kind of give that a little sprinkle over the top, maybe hit a little everything. And wow, pickled red onions. Boom. And I realized that I actually didn't get out the stuff for the secret sauce. The secret sauce is something that is, you can't forget about it. It's arguably the most important part. Oh yeah, it's the best seasoning. I put it on literally everything. It is the Frank's Red Hot of my life. All right, pickled red onions, boom. Look at that right there. Isn't that the most colorful, beautiful bowl you've ever seen? I'm so happy with that. Cool. So like I said, we're going to make a little bit of a sauce here. We'll find these special ingredients and not pull these out. We're going to get a little sriracha. We're going to get a little of that soy sauce and some honey. All right, let me get a little bowl to mix this all together with. Bad host, unprepared. All right, so that same soy sauce, we're going to use a little bit of that. Just a tablespoon or so. Some sriracha. Same deal. Again, however spicy you would like. And put that in there. And a little bit more. There we go. Of course, you can just drizzle straight up sriracha on the top of that too. And then a little honey. I think we've talked about this before. A little kind of a flavor triangle. Sweet, salty, and acidic. So, soy sauce, very, very salty. It's kind of a nice, kind of fishy umami flavor. What I just put in there, the honey, obviously, is our sweet. And I'm going to put a squeeze of lemon in here. It's going to be our acid. I have this spoon from the avocado. We'll just use that. Save on some dishes. We'll get a little mix up. And just making sure that honey kind of dissolves a bit with the, anything like acidic is going to kind of break that in that honey, so it's not necessarily as sticky, but obviously it'll still retain that sweetness. And we'll just get that nice little smooth pour over the top. All right, so that way everything's got a little bit extra flavor. It's not just a bunch of raw vegetables. Of course, you can add whatever kind of flavoring you'd like to, but there you have it. There's Coach Matt's weekly poke bowl with all of its beautiful color and flavor. And that's what we have for you. All right. If you do make this, please send me a picture. I'd love to see your beautiful creations. And hopefully you kind of take something away from this when you go grocery shopping, kind of exploring the vegetable, the produce lane aisle area. And maybe once a week or so, try something that you don't normally buy. Variety is the spice of life, so you can find something, and maybe you don't know how to use it exactly, but you're on the internet, right? So just give it a little search and see how do I use a daikon radish or how do I use some celery roots. So all great ways to kind of expand your boundaries of what you know, and kind of venture into some areas of nutrition that you don't normally go to. So that's my recommendation. My homework for you this week is maybe try one new piece of produce this coming week. All right. Thank you all so much for joining again. I'm Coach Matt with your Power Up Fitness team. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you in a month. Bye.